Have you ever wondered if something you do every morning, thinking it's harmless, might actually be quietly damaging your heart and brain? I once met a patient named Walter, 68 years old, living in a quiet suburban neighborhood, a man everyone saw as a model of a healthy lifestyle. Every morning, he'd wake up early to walk around the block, come home to drink a glass of fruit juice, then brew his favorite iced coffee. His blood pressure was stable, no diabetes, ate a balanced diet, didn't smoke. One morning, while watering his garden, he suddenly experienced blurred vision, a crooked mouth, and an inability to move his hand. A stroke hit him in just a few seconds. As a neurologist, I've seen many similar cases. What haunts me most isn't that they had a stroke. It's that they had no clue why it happened. Many people think strokes only come from high blood pressure, high cholesterol, or genetics. But there's another factor, quieter but directly impacting your blood, vessels, and brain. And that is what you drink first thing in the morning. That's right. Just one sip at the start of the day could be the trigger for a stroke. After a long night, the body of someone over 60 is dehydrated, blood becomes thicker, vessels more prone to constriction. If you pick the wrong drink at this moment, you're creating a biological storm inside yourself. Vessel tightening, oxygen shortage to the brain, blood clots forming, all within the first 60 to 90 minutes of your day. I know this sounds serious, and it really is. But the good news is just a small change in your morning routine can significantly lower your stroke risk. In the next part, I'll share 5 common morning drinks that people over 60 often reach for. Some may seem healthy, but in reality are secretly pushing you closer to a stroke than ever before. Most of my patients share one habit they never really question: iced coffee, especially on hot mornings or days when they need a mental boost. They reach for a cold coffee, add some vanilla or caramel syrup, topped with a thick layer of cream, fragrant, sweet, and comforting. And I get it, I used to be hooked on that flavor too. But what few realize is that behind that refreshing alertness lies a silent crisis happening inside the body, especially for those over 60. When you take in a combo of caffeine and refined sugar right after waking up, while your blood is still thick from overnight dehydration, you're triggering an extremely dangerous biological reaction. Blood vessels constrict quickly, blood pressure spikes suddenly, and your blood starts to thicken, making it easier to form clots. I had a female patient, 64 years old, no underlying conditions, practiced yoga weekly, but every morning she ordered sweet iced coffee from her favorite cafe. It wasn't until she was hospitalized for a transient ischemic attack, TIA, that we traced the culprit. Every morning, instead of water, she started her day with a sweet and alert cup. As you age, your body becomes more sensitive to sugar and caffeine shocks. An iced coffee with syrup or cream not only raises your blood sugar, but also stimulates your sympathetic nervous system, making your heart work harder. This is especially risky between 6 and 9 a.m., the peak window for strokes. So what's the solution? If you still love coffee, go for unsweetened cold brew. Add a splash of almond or oat milk if you want a little creaminess. And remember, drink plain water first so your body has enough medium to support circulation before caffeine hits. Coffee isn't the villain. How and when you drink it determines your blood vessel and brain health. A small change in your morning coffee could be a big step in stroke prevention after 60. There's one question I often ask my older patients: how do you start your morning? And many answer proudly, "I drink 100% orange juice every day, doctor." I get why they think it's a good choice. For years we've been told that fruit juices, especially orange, apple, or grape, are packed with vitamins, boost immunity, and keep the mind sharp. But the truth is, when you drink bottled juice, even if it says 100% juice or no added sugar, you're no longer drinking fruit. You're drinking liquid sugar. Let me explain. When you squeeze an orange, the fiber which slows sugar absorption is left behind. That means the fructose in that glass of juice floods your bloodstream almost instantly. Younger bodies can handle this quickly. But for those over 60, insulin response slows down, vessels constrict more easily, and heart pressure spikes within 20 to 30 minutes after drinking. One of my patients, Alan, 70, told me he drank red grape juice every morning because it was good for the heart. But after a few months, he started feeling dizzy, had mild morning headaches, and fluctuating blood pressure. After tests, we found his morning blood sugar was abnormally high, and the culprit was the healthy grape juice he trusted. What's dangerous is that juice doesn't taste as sharply sweet as soda, so people easily consume 2 or 3 times the recommended sugar amount without realizing it. So what's a safer choice? If you want to start your day with fruit, eat the whole fruit. If you prefer it as a drink, blend fresh fruit with a little water and add chia seeds to boost fiber. This helps slow sugar absorption and avoids glucose spikes. Remember, fruit is only truly good when eaten with its fiber. That's its soul. When you remove that, no matter how pretty the juice looks, it might be quietly damaging your blood vessels day by day. I had a patient named Margaret, 66 years old, who followed a strict diet. She avoided sweets, white rice, and fried foods. But every morning, she kept one habit she just couldn't quit: a can of diet soda, the kind with a big, bold 0 on the label. She believed no sugar, no calories. How could it be harmful? Sounds reasonable, but this is one of the most common misconceptions among older adults today. The problem lies in artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or acesulfame K ingredients found in most diet sodas and 0-calorie sodas. They trick your taste buds into thinking you're consuming sugar, but your body still reacts biologically as if you're getting real sugar. Insulin spikes, blood vessels constrict, and metabolism gets disrupted. What's even more worrying is recent studies show that older adults who drink diet soda daily have a significantly higher risk of stroke compared to those who don't. They also have higher rates of atrial fibrillation and early memory decline, 2 conditions directly linked to brain health. You might ask, but if there's no real sugar, how can it be harmful? The answer is even without real sugar. Diet soda increases thirst and dehydration, making your blood thicker and raising the risk of blood clots, a leading cause of stroke in people over 60. I once asked Margaret after a checkup, if your grandchildren asked, "What did you drink this morning?" would you confidently say it's the best thing for your brain? She was silent for a long moment, then nodded. But this time, she was holding a glass of water with lemon, not her usual can of soda. If you crave fizzy drinks, choose sparkling water and add a few slices of lemon, cucumber, or a splash of diluted cranberry juice. It's refreshing and won't fool your body. Because fake sweetness doesn't fool your heart, it only fools you. Boosting energy, or boosting stroke risk. I once saw a patient named Carlos, 63 years old, a former banker who retired early to care for his wife with Alzheimer's. He's the type who always tries to keep positive energy, wakes up early, reads books, gardens, but recently he complained, "Doc, every morning I feel tired, my head's all fuzzy, so I drink an energy drink made for older adults. On really rough days, I even have a sports drink. It can't be bad. People say it helps recovery." I've heard that line a lot, and many times I've had to gently tell him, what seems made to recharge your energy is actually making your heart more exhausted every morning. Here's the truth. Energy drinks contain high caffeine, plus stimulants like taurine, guarana, ginseng, or high-dose B vitamins. Young bodies can handle that. But for people over 60, when the heart isn't as resilient, these cause faster heartbeats, arrhythmias, and sudden blood pressure spikes. What about sports drinks? They sound gentler. But many have lots of sodium, artificial colors, and a significant amount of sugar. When you drink them right after waking, while naturally dehydrated from 7 to 8 hours of sleep, they don't hydrate you properly. Instead, they pull waters out of your cells, thickening your blood and slowing brain circulation. The result? You feel alert, but it's a shaky kind of alertness, jittery, restless, tense-headed, followed by an energy crash. And the silent stroke risk begins as blood flow in your brain no longer moves smoothly. I guided Carlos to change one small thing. Start his mornings with warm water mixed with lemon and a pinch of Himalayan pink salt, not for detox, but because this formula gently supports electrolytes, safely hydrates, and soothes the body from within. A week later, he came back with a gentle smile. No more fuzzy head. Every morning feels light, slow, and clear all day. See, those commercial energy boosters aren't made for aging hearts. They don't make you stronger, they just make you run faster toward a stroke. A silent mistake with loud consequences. Here's an ironic truth I've realized after years of practice. Many people fear strokes, take brain supplements, practice yoga regularly, but overlook the simplest, most important thing the brain needs each morning: a glass of plain water. We often think, I'm not thirsty, so there's no rush to drink, but the fact is thirst weakens with age. After 60, the body no longer sends clear signals like when you were young. And when you don't feel thirsty, you don't think drinking water is necessary. That becomes one of the most dangerous morning mistakes. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep, the body naturally loses water through breath and sweat. Blood thickens, blood vessels narrow slightly due to less circulation. The brain, which consumes 20% of the body's blood, starts the day running low on fuel. Yet instead of hydrating, we reach for coffee, juice, or worse, skip this first step altogether. I once treated Richard, 71, no serious underlying conditions, but one morning he collapsed shaving. His heart was still beating, but his mouth drooped and he couldn't speak. It was a mild stroke. After tests, everything seemed normal except one thing. He hadn't drunk any water beforehand. We found no other obvious factors. Then he admitted, "I woke at 6 a.m., shaved, then made coffee. I wasn't thirsty, so I skipped the water." That skip nearly cost him the chance to ever drink again. Drinking a glass of room-temperature water right after waking isn't a beauty hack or flashy detox. It's the simplest, most effective act to thin your blood kickstart circulation, gently dilate blood vessels, and deliver oxygen to your brain just in time. No lemon, no honey, no ice, just pure water. Warm enough at the right moment. If you do only one thing to protect your brain every morning, don't skip this. A quiet health assistant every morning. I know that after a video like this, many people might think, I get it, but can I really remember all this every morning? The answer is, you don't have to remember alone. Because now, there are gentle tools that act like a reminder, not from a doctor, but more like from someone who truly cares about you. Senior Health Tracker is an app designed specifically for people aged 60 and above, helping you start each day the right way, reminding you to drink water on time, recording your blood pressure and heart rate every morning, tracking the drinks you consume, and warning you about choices that might be harmful. Customizing according to your personal health condition. This app is like a little medical assistant, quietly by your side, no nagging, no pressure, just reminding you of small things that can keep your brain and heart safe each morning. What I love most is that it doesn't replace your doctor, but fills the gaps between visits when you're at home, making coffee, or just waking up. Right now, the lifetime license of the app is open to early users. If you still see the link below, take advantage of it. Maybe it's the thing that will remind you to drink water tomorrow morning before it's too late. When we think of stroke, most of us imagine sudden pain or the moment the heart stops. But in reality, stroke doesn't strike like a lightning bolt from a clear sky. It starts with small habits repeated quietly every morning. A sweet cup of coffee, a can of zero-sugar soda, a bottle of packaged juice, skipping a glass of water because you're not thirsty. Each of these alone might seem harmless, but when they become habits in a body that's aging every day, they quietly create a storm inside your blood vessels, leading to stroke, memory loss, or falls you never get up from. The good news is you don't have to change everything at once. Just start tomorrow morning with one simple thing. Drink a glass of plain water right when you wake up. Choose your first drink wisely, because you may not control your age, genetics, or past, but you fully control what you put into your body every morning, and that shapes your future. If this video touched you, share it with your loved ones, parents, grandparents, or your partner. Maybe a little morning reminder will save a memory, a smile, or a life. And before you go, don't forget, download the Senior Health Tracker app in the description below. Comment for me. What will you start your morning with tomorrow? Like and subscribe so we can keep supporting each other every week, every morning, building healthier habits. I'm Dr. Eli, and I believe the smallest things you do every morning might just be the biggest things you do for yourself.